Breaking news right now in the Bay Area, a traffic disaster unfolding in Tampa Bay impacting businesses and travel all over our state. We're live at the scene. Plus, not even 24 hours after the primary elections, guess what's happening? Fists are flying on Twitter, Facebook, social media for the governor's race. And also, as if you needed another reason to head out to the beach, we've got reportedly 5 scientific reasons why you need to take your family to the beach as soon as you can. The Now Tampa Bay starts now. Good afternoon, I'm Laura for the Now Tampa Bay. We're getting some breaking news in right now. I was just told that in the next 60 minutes, we're hoping at least one lane will be open in a crash that's been impacting traffic in the Sarasota area as well as the Bay Area for all day. We've got video to show you right now. All northbound lanes at this time at Bee Ridge Road in Sarasota are closed. Here are the pictures of that mess. This all started around 6 o'clock this morning because a tanker carrying as much as 500 gallons of fuel crashed into a ditch, spilling gas everywhere. That's exactly why it's taking so long to clean up, because of the environmental concern and danger. The other factor is the heat. Meanwhile, a major artery for businesses right now through the middle of our state at a standstill. Our Carson Chambers is in the thick of it right now, showing us how close they are to reopening the interstate.
Well, it is a mess. We're actually standing in the middle of I-275 between Bee Ridge Roads and also Fruitville Roads. This is the look behind us. This is a huge tanker truck that was filled with gasoline, topped off 8,700 gallons worth, that crashed and was leaking gasoline on the side of the road. It is hot out here, upwards of 96 degrees. You can smell the fuel vapors as the wind shifts. The task now is a slow one for firefighters. They had to siphon all of that fuel out of here and clean up the roadway, which we are told may shut down the interstate until at least 7 or 8 p.m. tonight. It is a dangerous task for firefighters using respirators and vacuum trucks. The other problem, you can see traffic is flowing a little bit better towards Northport, but this morning a 20-mile backup, that went down to 2 miles. There are several detours that go through town, and FHP telling us you're going to have to leave a couple of extra hours to take those detours. We'll keep you updated live starting tonight at 5 o'clock on ABC Action News. I'm Carson Chambers. Back to you.
And we've mapped out plenty of detours for you. You can find those at abcactionnews.com/thenow. Coming up on ABC Action News at 5, Carson Chambers will be back giving you some more information on when this road might be opening. Like we said, though, in the next 60 minutes, they're hoping at least one of those lanes will reopen. Of course, we'll stay on top of it. ABC Action News at 5 and 6 will give you the very latest information. On to election coverage, though. Following the Florida primary results, former Florida Republican governor turned Democrat Charlie Crist, he's enjoying a landslide victory today. Well, guess who else is enjoying a victory? Florida Governor Rick Scott. Now, here's what we know so far. Throughout the day, there has been a lot of back and forth, a lot of, I'd say, jabbing on Twitter as well as Facebook. I've got some video to show you, though, from Governor Rick Scott celebrating a win, but not publicly. The governor making it clear all day as he jumped around the state from Orlando to Tampa to Naples and Miami that he's looking to the future, saying he's focused on November. Governor Scott and the First Lady made a few primary day campaign calls to supporters in Tampa. Scott also reminded voters that when Crist was governor, the state's economy was failing and job creation was almost non-existent. And back to former Governor Crist. In last night's primary victory speech, well, he promised his constituents he was working to ensure a Scott-free Florida on his quest to the governor's mansion again. And Crist may not be the only one Governor Scott has to be worried about. You remember Jennifer Carroll? Well, her new book is out. You remember she resigned her post as lieutenant governor in March of 2013. Her new book details her thoughts on Governor Scott, saying he treated her like an unwanted stepchild. Accusations of Governor Scott having that of a good old boy mentality. All those revelations coming out in this new book. So as I was saying before, we've got Jarrett here. He's our digital producer. He's been following Twitter and Facebook all day long. We're used to seeing these political ads, political jabs going on billboards, on television. Now all of a sudden, you're seeing it on Twitter.
On social media, that's right. This morning from Governor Crist, former Governor Crist, I should say, his first tweet today was, What was Shady Rick really hunting for in Texas? This is an ad. When you go behind and look at the tweet, it's a YouTube ad, and it's an attack ad. It's nothing nice. Obviously with hashtag Shady Rick.
Shady Rick, though, that's
nothing nice. Nothing nice at all.
Immediately.
You go over to Rick Scott's Twitter this morning. The first things up there were thanking the supporters. They had a little bit of a different kind of approach.
Positive.
Yes, for sure. You see the volunteers there, and it says amazing support yesterday for Rick Scott in Miami. And like I said, you got the pictures of the volunteers and all those kinds of things. But really interesting this morning at 8:33, the Charlie Crist campaign put out a tweet talking about 1 year ago, Scott skipped his own education summit and took time for the Tea Party. But then 2 minutes later, Laura, Rick Scott is out with an infographic saying Rick Scott is the first and only governor to really help teachers and give them a raise. Like, they were on it within 2 minutes, and it's really been getting ugly. So they're not waiting for the mudslinging to start.
Right. So right now, I think it's safe to say it's getting personal at this point.
For sure. They're not wasting any time getting ready for the general in November.
Yeah, and Governor Rick Scott has been pretty public about the amount of money that he has to pump into
that
this.
$100 million that he likes to say. You can see the other side, obviously, is using social media, which is a little bit less expensive. So,
Jared, of course, you'll stay on top of it as you always do. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, thank you. Right now, we want to talk about the marijuana debate, though. So coming up in November, there's going to be a referendum. It's going to be Amendment 2. Will marijuana be made legal in Florida? Well, that's the question. Medical marijuana. Well, we do know tonight there is going to be a debate between Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd as well as John Morgan, who of course is with the Morgan & Morgan law firm. Here's what we know so far, though. One study says medical marijuana may be reducing the number of people dying from painkiller drugs. The study out today says medical marijuana could be cutting down those deaths. Researchers looked at medical marijuana laws and death certificate information in all 50 states over the last 11 years. Well, the study shows that after laws legalizing medical marijuana went into effect, those states showed an average of 25% drop in prescription painkiller overdose deaths. Well, some doctors say it's good to have more options for managing chronic pain, but you have to continue to weigh the pros and cons of medical marijuana. And experts we spoke with say the study hasn't accounted for other changes that may have led to the drop in pain pill overdose deaths.
It's not going to alter the fact that people are dying from their addictions. People aren't dying because they're taking the pills as prescribed by their doctor. They're dying because they're abusing them.
Something else we're learning today, couples who smoke pot together get along together. At least that's according to a University of Buffalo study that started back in '96 and studied more than 600 couples. They found that the couples who smoked weed together had fewer reported cases of domestic violence. Well, doing a little reality check now, we want to talk to our experts. We're bringing in an expert right now just to give us a little bit more information about this marijuana debate and what exactly it means for the state of Florida, especially if they do legalize medical marijuana. Our doctor here with us right now, just give us a little bit more information on the positive benefits of smoking medical marijuana.
Well, for patients who suffer from cancer and have no appetite, obviously marijuana is a great help for them. It can really help stimulate their appetite and maybe get a good night's sleep.
That's Dr. Ola. Thank you so very much for being with us. We really do appreciate it. Switching gears a little bit now, let's talk some sports. I know we're all ready for the football season to begin. Guess what? The Bucs have a big acquisition. We've got video to show you these topping your sports headlines. A big acquisition for the Bucs is getting acclaimed to his new team, acclimated to his new team. The Bucs have upgraded their struggling offensive line with six-time Pro Bowl guard Logan Mankins from the New England Patriots. That means Richie Incognito, he might be out as an option. Incognito visited One Buck Place as a prospect after the bullying scandal in Miami cost him his job there. For Mankins, the Bucs traded away second-year tight end Tim Wright and an undisclosed draft pick. But it's not exactly the end of the conversation with Incognito and the Bucs, as the team says he remains an option if they decide to make more changes to the roster. All right, today at USF, students showed off their research and inventions, as you can see right here, showing how smart they really are. We've got video to show you from that, what happened today. The event showcased more than 15 projects from students across campus. They featured ideas, creations, and inventions from nearly every school within the college.
And we wanted to, rather than visit them in Tallahassee and ask them to trust us with what good that money goes to show them firsthand.
All right, well, coming up on the Now at 4:45, Miley Cyrus might have done a good deed, or so she thought, at the VMAs, but what exactly does it mean right now, especially since the police are looking for the man who actually accepted her award? Also coming up at 4:30, a 9-year-old accidentally shoots and kills her instructor at a gun range. We've got information coming out of Arizona right now on that, and what's going on right here in the Bay Area to help keep you and your family safe at gun ranges. And also, I kind of got this halfway on, but ladies, what is this? I'm not trying to channel Madonna or anything like that. This actually might help you when you go get your next manicure. We've got that coming up next on the Now. And thanks, Ann. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. But right now, we got to check on your weather. See exactly what's going on at the bus stop for your kids. Dennis Phillips, chief meteorologist, checking it out right now.
What's up?
Any rain out there?
Nothing.
Good, because I just washed my car.
Oh, then it's gonna rain then, right? I mean,
That's how it always works.
It's been crazy because, I mean, this is the time of the year you usually set your watch by those afternoon storms. And
Exactly.
nothing out there. There's a look at what's going on. There are some showers and storms down to our south, but I'm telling you, folks, there's very little going on across our area, and it's going to stay that way for another day or so, and then we begin to see those subtle changes with the heat continuing, but then some afternoon storms back in the forecast. So looking ahead through the overnight hours, skies remain partly cloudy. Temperatures should be warm. It remains dry until sometime later Friday into the weekend, and that's when our rain chances are back in the forecast. Laura, let's go back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Dennis. Well, we're talking about turning back the hands of time. No, we're not trying to channel our inner Madonna. But on this Working Women Wednesdays, we're trying to give you news you can use. And who's better to do that than Christy Post, who's got something, it looks a little odd,
Yes,
but
it
it's very
looks
cool.
odd. It is cool. And a mother for Working Wednesday came up with this idea. How cool is it? As women, we like to get our shellac manicures. Okay, don't zoom into my nails because I need to get it done. You know, every 2 weeks we get it, and we're putting our hands underneath the light, the UV light, and we've heard those reports. We're in news. We've heard the doctors talk about, you know, it could be dangerous, and, you know, you need to put sunscreen on. But now they're doing these clothing items, so you can have one. There you go. And they're called Happy Hands.
Christy, you know the person who invented these.
I do know the person. She's a good friend of mine, and she just launched this, so this could be coming to a salon near you soon. And it apparently protects you from 98% of UV rays. So you put this on while you're getting your shellac manicure. And Alina Polson told me why she came up with this idea and the reason behind all of it.
I've had skin cancer in my family, so we're all very, very aware of wearing sunscreen, and even taking the next step is actually wearing clothing that has a UPF that actually can block and shield from those rays, because sometimes the sunscreen may not even be strong enough or comes off.
I think one of the best parts about this is it's $6.99. I mean, she's not directly selling to people.
$6.99.
So, yeah, you can't buy this, but she's selling to distributors who are then going to put these in salons, sell to the salons, and then maybe you can pick this up soon and protect your hands so, you know, you don't have that wrinkly and brown spots and all that gross stuff that no girl wants. You want to look young.
You want to look young and cute, and Christy Post is both of those. Thank you so much for coming. I'm going to keep this.
You do.
Okay, thank you. Grab your smartphone or tablet, everybody. It's time for Wednesday's Deal of the Day. You can enjoy stand-up comedy at the Tampa Improv. This deal from Groupon is no joke. It's an 80% savings. You see what I did there? You can buy 2 tickets for $15, which is a $50 value, or 4 tickets for $20, which is normally a $100 value. Don't waste any time. This deal runs through October 4th. We posted a link on our website at abcactionnews.com/the Now. Well, ahead on the Now at 4:45, Miley Cyrus's good deed. Remember when she got that guy to go accept her VMA award? Apparently, the cops are looking for him. Got a little bit more information on that coming up. Also coming up, a 9-year-old girl accidentally shoots and kills the person who's trying to teach her how to shoot at a gun range, why she had an Uzi, and what different places around the Bay Area are doing right now to keep you and your family safe if you plan on going out to the gun range. Also, coming up right after this break, are you waiting for that new iPhone set to release next month? Well, you may want to go ahead and sell your old one today. We'll explain. This is Now Tampa Bay. We'll be back in 3 minutes. So far, at around 8:40 this morning, Lakeland police got a call of a body found at 4241 New Tampa Highway. When officers got to the house, they found a man's body partially under that home. Right now, we're still waiting to hear who this person is and how they may have died. But police are saying the body was so badly decomposed they can't even tell what race that person is. Again, we're looking for updates, and as soon as we get them, we'll bring them to you. Back here in Ybor City, guess what? They've got a first coming up. It's a historic move for them. They want to have an upscale wine festival in Ybor. Over 100 wines will be featured. There will also be food pairings, giving you a taste of the beauty and flavor of historic Ybor. And get your palate ready, September 14th from 1 to 4 o'clock. We've posted a link on our website, abcactionnews.com/thenow, for a link to buy your tickets. The event benefits Ybor City's historic holiday spirit. All right, are you one of those iPhone faithful who like to get the newest, the hottest phone that you can get as soon as it comes out? Well, guess what? There's a little study out right now that says maybe you shouldn't be waiting to the last possible moment to trade your phone in. Guess who we're going to talk to about that just in a little bit. CNN Money says the trade-in value of an old iPhone declines rapidly the closer we get to a new launch. In the past, the trade-in values have dropped 20% a month leading up to a new release. But what are you supposed to do once you trade your phone in if the new one isn't here yet? Well, there's a company called Gazelle. This year, they are allowing customers to lock in a guaranteed price for their old model. They can send to Gazelle later after they've gotten the new phone. That way, customers won't be without their devices. How about that, Jarrett?
I know. I'm about to go exchange my phone right
you're
now.
not.
You can take care of this.
We just talked about it because you and I we don't really care about the new one.
I don't have to have the newest, like the iPhone 6. I just want something really good.
I don't want a flip phone though.
Exactly. I don't want that either. And I don't want like a huge tablet kind of phone either. So I like my small iPhone.
Exactly. Like all of that. So Jarrett, you're our digital producer. You stay on top of everything, apps, that type of thing.
Right.
What's the newest app coming out that'll help people like me who love to be on Instagram?
Okay, well, if you're anything like me, you love taking photos and videos. Instagram just released a brand new app called Hyperlapse, and it's got a really cool whole interface that allows you to make time-lapse video. So you can see here, they've got all of these cool videos, and these are the kind of videos where you normally would see like the sunset going up or down really quickly.
You can do this all from your phone?
You can do it on your phone. There's really 3 cool, interesting things about this. Number 1 is image stabilization. It's really easy to use. You don't have to keep the camera in one space. You can move it around, and the app will easily stabilize the image.
This is awesome.
This is us right here.
The Now crew.
Super easy to use. It opens up like a camera. You don't have to sign into anything, and it takes your pictures and your video, and then you can speed it up or slow it down to the speed that you like to make it for the video that you want it to be. And the last thing that I know you love about every app is it's free. So
my favorite price
exactly.
of free.
Hyperlapse is a brand new app. It's free. It just came out yesterday. It's only available right now on iPhone, but you can bet that they're going to have it on Google pretty soon.
Jarrett, thank you so much.
Yes,
Don't leave to go buy the new iPhone. You don't need it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Okay, well.
You'll be fine. You'll be
later.
fine. Well, coming up on the Now, hey, for all you 90s babies out there, or some of us that were born right there at the end of the 80s, remember Full House? Guess what? Might be making a comeback. That's coming up in just a little bit. Also coming up, 5 scientific reasons why you need to take your family to the beach right now to improve your health. That's coming up. Plus, keeping you and your family safe at the gun range after a 9-year-old girl shoots and kills her instructor in Arizona. What's happening right now in the Bay Area to keep you and your family safe? The Now Tampa Bay is back in 3 minutes. And welcome back to the Now Tampa Bay. It's 4:30. I'm Laura Harris. The investigation continues into what happened at an Arizona gun range when a 9-year-old accidentally shot and killed her instructor. The gun that girl was using, a submachine gun, also commonly known as an Uzi. This is actually video of that young girl just before that deadly shooting. Her parents were actually recording the practice on their cell phones. That tragedy in Arizona got us to thinking here on the Now. How safe are gun ranges here in the Bay Area? The Now Tampa Bay's Christy Post started asking those questions, and what requirements and those requirement ages are there for handling weapons, if any, and what safety precautions are in place for everyone at that facility.
Whether it's for shooting sports, hunting or just as a hobby, we're told it's not unusual to see children handling firearms.
You'll see 8-year-olds every now and then.
But Shooters World General Manager Bruce Kitsitz says what's unusual is someone like this 9-year-old using an Uzi.
All right, go ahead and give me one shot.
In fact, this video is a reminder of why Kitsitz says they do not let anyone under the age of 21 use a machine gun on their range.
As it shoots, it wants to go up. And as the gun goes up is where the accident can happen.
And if an adult does use one,
what we do is tether the weapon so when they're shooting, you can see it stops right here.
As for children, they can take part in the store's youth program, where they learn to use weapons like a .22.
How to face a firearm, how to hold a firearm, direction of the muzzle.
Kitsitz says everyone has the right to bear firearms. His number one concern is just using it safely.
Safety is always the number one concern.
You know, when I was doing this story, I found out there's actually no law for a child to be at a certain age to use a gun, especially a machine gun. You know, it just varies by range to range, and certain ranges have certain rules. And mostly you can be 8 years old at the ranges to shoot any gun, but you have to have that supervision. And when I was looking at the facts and figures of everything, it seems a lot of people question why would children use a gun that young. But you know, it's from what I read online, people want to use those guns and have their children use them so they know what they are and they know how to use them, versus like seeing them as a toy if they find them in the parents' closet or, you know, in a safe or something. But it's a big debate right now.
Yeah, and undoubtedly a very tragic situation. 9 years old.
Yeah.
9 years old. Christy, thank you. We appreciate it. Well, another child video going viral. You see here the little boy playing in the street gets run over by an SUV. We want to warn you, this video it's very disturbing, but I want to let you know it's from China. And guess what? That little boy, he's just fine, if you can believe that. Run completely over. You see him under that vehicle, right between the tires as it drove over him. Luckily, that little boy, just fine, as I said, walking away from the incident with minor cuts and scrapes. My goodness. All right, now for an update on the relief mission underway in Iraq, let's go to my co-host, Ann McNamara.
U.S. officials are considering a new humanitarian mission in Iraq. There are thousands of Shiite Turkmen in a northern Iraqi town surrounded by ISIS. Much like the refugees trapped on Mount Sinjar earlier this month, the Turkmen have no access to food or water. This all coming from the Associated Press tweeting it out today. The United Nations asking the U.S. for some help, describing this situation as desperate. The fighting between Israel and Hamas is over, at least for now. This indefinite ceasefire is holding, with both sides claiming victory. The death toll, however, incredibly lopsided. More than 2,000 people killed in Gaza, only fewer than 100 Israelis dead. This one video explains why. It shows Israeli citizens evacuating into a bomb shelter while Hamas rockets fly overhead. Then Israel's Iron Dome system sends up missiles to intercept the rockets. Watch each of those white puffs of smoke. That's a rocket being taken out by the Iron Dome. In one video, you can count 15 different rockets being intercepted. Hamas launched more than 4,000 rockets at Israel over the weeks-long war. The Iron Dome shot down around 90% of them. We are joined now by Elizabeth Shelton. She's a data reporter at Decode DC.
Back here at home, a very bizarre story. A man in the Bay Area, well, he's accused of actually catching an endangered species and eating it. Our Adam Weiner went and did that story. He's got it for us now.
Hey there, I'm outside the Florida Fish and Wildlife Center here in Citrus County. We just got done talking to a conservation officer who caught, they say, a man red-handed right in the middle of the act of capturing a threatened animal. They are gopher tortoises and they are threatened. They're a listed animal. It is illegal to hunt them. It's illegal to even possess one. So FWC got a tip about somebody who'd been hunting and even eating these tortoise. Now they tell me they get a lot of tips all the time from people who see something, but they end up not being able to find whatever they were talking about. In this case, they found exactly what they were talking about and then stumbled upon the person behind it. Their story coming up tonight at 6. In Citrus County, I'm Adam Weiner. Back to you.
All right, bizarre story there. We're here with Linda Hurtado, one of our 5 p.m. anchors. Linda, what do we got going on for 5?
I have a story that every parent that has a student athlete should see. Student athletes or anyone who knows a student athlete should see. It's on concussions. You know all about this, Laura. All right, this is the new thing here. It's a video. Check out this hit, okay?
Oh, gosh.
I can't tell you how many times I've seen my daughter or one of her friends get hit, something like that. Okay, it's pretty obvious. He's down on the ground. He's hurting. So you know that these kids need to sit out, right? He's wobbling. Okay, but what's not so obvious is when these kids go back to school, you don't really know whether they're well yet. So coming up at 5, I'm interviewing a girl who went back to school the next day, took a very important test, loved this class, knew it, sat down and couldn't remember a thing and flunked it.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what we're going to be talking about. All Children's Hospital put out the video and they're going to help you parents and teachers learn what to look for.
Linda, thank you so much. We do appreciate it. All right, well, coming up on the Now. Hey, have you ever gotten your lunch stolen out of the break room in your own place of business? We're talking about it and how you might be able to stop that. Plus, it's time to wake up from the dead. The Walking Dead, guess what? The new trailer is out for the show that's starting again in October. And then also, you good? Yeah. We're watching the Now Tampa Bay.